and I was able to get it the first try. I'm not on MP5. Yeah, it's impossible to say no to an offer like that.
Hi Austin, how are you, sir?
How you doing?
I'm good. Well, welcome to the FundedNext interviews. Could you introduce yourself to the community so we know a bit more about you?
My name's Austin from New York. Been with FundedNext since January. It's middle of June now. And to date, I have earned about 17,000 with FundedNext.
Well done, fantastic. So, how long did it take you to get funded? Which model did you use from their catalog?
So I went and got the two-step evaluation program. I did the 200K account, and I was able to get it in first try, luckily enough.
Okay, great, well done. Okay, so by the sounds of it, you're a full-time trader.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So, what do you trade specifically, which has allowed you to get this funded count so quickly?
So I trade. There's two pairs that I mainly focus on: GBPUSD and US30. But lately, and mainly, I've been with US30.
US30. Okay. So, the volatility of the US30 has possibly helped you get to that funded level. Okay,
definitely. And the same thing with GBPUSD. I prefer, high volatility pairs.
Yeah. Okay. When they move, they pay out quickly.
That's right. And they can be pretty clean too when they get a nice clean move. So that's what I like about it too.
Yeah. So I presume, being in New York, you trade the New York session.
Yes, that's right.
Okay. Yeah. Primarily the New York session.
Really the New York session when I'm like at the computer, of course, but there are times where I'll take a trade before going to bed. So that'll, sometimes I'll have a trade that's running through Asia and London.
Overnight.
So
okay.
Possible.
Yeah. Okay, so you're not just an intraday trader, you will let trades swing for a certain period of time.
Yeah, depending if I see what I like on the daily chart, then I'll take positions, I'll take positions when the market reopens again and then check it, I'll wake up in the middle of the night and check on it and stuff like that. But I prefer to be hands-on during New York session. Yeah.
Okay. So you use multi-time frame analysis, use the higher time frames and then execute on the lower time frames?
Yeah. I don't really go higher than the daily. Sometimes I'll check the weekly just to sort of get a rough feel, but really the daily is going to be the highest I go. And then as far as actually taking entries, that'll be anywhere. I was on the hourly for a while, but now I've drilled down more. I'm more on like 15 and 5 minute nowadays, just because I've been a little more aggressive.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. And you found the spreads pretty good on the US30 when trading?
Yeah, for the most part, I'm not on MT5 yet. So I'm still on MT4 8 cap, and it's I'm getting the job done, but so some of my fills have been a little rough. So
so maybe
I work
maybe an
through
upgrade.
it
Maybe an upgrade to the MT5 main label would help you be even more successful. I've
been dragging my feet a bit on that, but I will get to that soon.
Yeah, sure. So what brought you to FundedNext? Why did you choose FundedNext over any other prop firm?
The thing that stuck out to me the most was definitely the 15% of phase 1 and 2 once you get funded. That was really enticing for me. And then also, I purchased the FundedNext account right around the time of the holidays. It was like mid-December. So at that point, they were offering a special where you got a discount off of the evaluation, and once you got funded, in addition to the 15% of phase 1 and phase 2, they were also, I believe it was like 200% of the evaluation fee they were refunding. It was either 150% or 200% of that. So it was like, it's impossible to say no to an offer like that. So,
okay, so you took advantage of a great offer they were running. Yeah, they do tend to run
totally.
some great offers.
Yeah.
So great. We talked about what you trade. Can we go a little bit deeper into the details about how you trade that US30 asset and
sure,
the strategies that you use and the indicators that maybe you use to do that? Let's see your US30 feed, yeah, daily and 15-minute.
So to preface this, I have a personal account as well, and I had done an interview in the past where I had said that I was not trading my personal account and I was only on prop accounts. And at the time I said that was true. But since then, I was funded with another firm. I won't even say their name because it just makes me so mad. But they were, I was funded with them and I was in profit about 5 or 6K. It was like 5,500. And they shut down out of nowhere. They just literally disappeared, and they said that, they made up an excuse that ASIC, shut them down, and I emailed ASIC, and I don't think they did, but anyway, I was with this firm and they shut down, and that between that and Funding Talent, which if you're familiar with, they also had a similar thing.
I was going to say I was assuming you were talking about Funded Talent, but there was another company that went.
No, this is you know what, I will say their name. I don't care. The prop trading, the Australian-based prop.
Yeah, they've gone. They
shut down out of nowhere.
Right.
Yeah, and so between them and Funding Talent, that really kicked me into gear and made me pretty nervous a little bit about the industry in general. So from that point on, I started using a personal account from that point on, just because I thought it would be kind of crazy to not add to that while I'm making prop firm income. And because who knows, I want this to last forever. I want the space to be around forever, but it's, with the unpredictability these days, I didn't want to take the risk. So with all of that said, I follow my strategy to a T on my personal account, and on my funded account, I'm a little more aggressive, and I go through a few different strategies from time to time. So what I'll go over is my boring strategy that I do on my personal account, and that is very simply support and resistance. So if we look here on the daily side of this chart, you see R1 and R2. And
so these are standard Fibonacci pivots?
It's honestly, the indicator is pivot points. So if you go to TradingView, go to indicators, select the pivot points indicator, put it on the chart. This is weekly.
Right. Yeah.
And then on my 15-minute side, these are daily pivots. So the strategy is very simple. I just enter at daily. I look at the weekly pivots just, to get an idea, but I'll rarely apply those. I'm really looking at these daily pivots.
Daily ones.
And intraday, I'll just be taking buys at support, S1 and sells at R1. So I'll set a wide stop. Yeah, I'll set a wide stop. I'll set a 200-point stop on US30, and then I will just close the position at the end of the day, wherever it is. And I have about 4 years of back testing data for this, and it's profitable. So I can always rely on it. At the end of every month, I'm profitable. It's just a matter of how much profitability. It does vary, but typically I'm solid. I've 1 month out of the year, maybe I'll end the month in a loss, but it's really rare.
Okay, right. So the backtesting data obviously supports the strategy. It's got a positive win rate, possibly 60-70% win rate, something like that, you would say? Yeah, for sure. For sure. So from a entry point of view, you're simply just entering at these support and resistance levels. You're not looking for any particular entry fractals. You're just simply entering with a wide stop to allow for any kind of volatility. Right.
Exactly.
Right. Okay.
Super cut and dry. And I do it that way so that I could just like set and forget and not think about it. And
yeah. So it's sort of strategy which doesn't require a lot of time in front of the screens. Once you've done the initial analysis, you can just leave it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, cool.
Exactly.
Okay.
And it's just something I love so much because I can rely on it. You know, I could rely on it, and then at the same time, I could use my prop firm account. I could be more aggressive, and I could try different strategies that aren't, you know, so boring. Because that's the biggest problem with my emotions is that, you know, I want to be excited while I'm trading, and that's that's a flaw because you know, I think to be successful in trading, the more boring the better. But you know, I've got the time, and I like using my time to try and learn, you know, different ones and see if I could, you know, come out more profitable on different ones. And you know, it's worked for me for a while, so you know, no complaints. But there are points where it gets a little dangerous, and you know, and I say to myself, well, this is why I'm doing it on a funded account, because it's not my money. So
exactly. You got that little cushion, but obviously you manage your risk successfully. So let's talk about, you've shared your strategy, so that's fantastic. That gives the traders out there something to look at. So basically, we're looking at support and resistance on a daily pivot, which is available freely on TradingView. So if we can then possibly talk about the risk management around that and how you use that strategy, but what sort of account balance are you risking per trade? When you say it was quite a wide stop of 200 points. What sort of account balance are you risking with that?
Yeah, so the wide stop is accounting for about, it's on my personal account, it's accounting for 2%. And on my prop accounts, I have I have an EA that just is only a stop loss and take profit EA. It just makes my life easier to, like, you know, press market buy and have the hard stop and take profit come up. On my prop account, the stop loss and take profit are both 3% in either direction, but it is so rare that I ever let it actually fully play out to those levels. I'm always closing early, and because I have a mental stop and take profit in my head of like where I want it to go. And a lot of that is based on just intuition and how I'm feeling in the market at the moment, and where I think those daily support and resistance levels might be as far as exiting. And lately, I've been on momentum trading, so as far as entries, you know, compared to my support and resistance strategy, the entries are super ugly sometimes. But it's but I still have a mental stop in my head of like, if price gets down there, I'm gone. So
let's talk about your FundedNext dashboard and see some of the stats that shows. So this is obviously your funded account with 8 cap. What is your risk reward and win rate like for this? You say this is the more aggressive strategy.
Yeah, so in this pay cycle, it's been working out very well for me. If we go to trading details, win rates 80% and risk reward is almost 1 to 3. So it's you know, it's solid. Fantastic. But the stats don't always look like this. It's not always this good. Sometimes it looks worse, but yeah, this last cycle has been really good. It's been solid. And you know, also to be fair, if we go back to dashboard, I've only been trading 4 days on this cycle, and I'm not going to trade anymore because last week was Memorial Day. I was on vacation for half the week. And then today, in this week, it's the middle of the week right now, and I have family staying over for the rest of the week. So I just don't have the time to make any more trades, and I've made enough in this period to where I'm comfortable with just stopping and waiting for the next cycle to begin.
More than likely going to be a fairly range-bound week anyway, isn't it? With the big news next week. So,
that's how it's looked. And you know,
you're ready and prepared for next week. Going to expect some fireworks possibly next week. Yeah.
Right, I'll be prepared for that. What I'm upset about though is that last week there was an enormous run on Friday that I took profit too early on, and just that would have been a massive payout. But you know, these things
always frustrating when price continues to run without
you know,
it. But
to be honest with you, like missing out on like huge moves hurts me more than losses do. Like psychology wise, it just kills me to know that I missed out on like a massive opportunity instead of just like losing. But
yeah, it's something which takes a while to accept. And you mentioned psychology, so obviously an important part of your trading. What do you do to maintain a healthy mindset?
What do I do to maintain a healthy mindset? I just try to keep my head clear. I try not to let market moves get to me too much. I try not to let FOMO get the best of me. I try not to let the concept of money get the best of me, because I have a tendency to worry and stress about money a lot. And that is the biggest, I think that's the biggest dragon to slay with psychology, because like it's, you know, if money's getting tough, then you're getting desperate. And then when you're getting desperate, you're making bad trades. And then when you're making bad trades, you're obviously blowing more money. So
it's a vicious circle.
It's a horrible cycle. So it's really like the goal is to just get yourself financially into the best place you can. Just keep rolling the snowball and incrementally get yourself there. And then when you can, you could move up in levels and make it so that, you know, if you lose a trade or you lose a series of trades, it's not totally ruining your day and ruining everything.
Exactly.
I'm at a point, very thankfully now, where if I went a month or two without a payout at all, I would still be treading water and surviving. And that's ultimately the place I've always wanted to get to, because when you're not there, you're just always like, you're always thinking that next trade's got to be it. That next trade's got to be it.
You start forcing trades, you start losing money. It's not a get rich quick scheme. It's a slow process, which is
until you get money. And then when you start getting money, it's kind of weird how the world works, where like when you make more money, it's easier to make more of it. But like when you getting those first like couple dollars, man, that's like,
that's the struggle. Tough. That's the struggle. And I think, you know, it's one of those things, isn't it, where if you can push through that stage and maintain the course, trade your strategy, manage your risk, it will come. It's just a matter of time.
The persistence really pays off. It pays off big time. I've been at it since late 2017, early 2018tain. So
it's been a journey. Have you been through different?
I didn't make any.
Sorry, have you been through different strategies, or have you focused on the one and?
Over the 5 years, I've done millions of them. I've done every strategy in the book almost.
Tried every retail indicator under the sun as well, I imagine.
Oh, for sure. But I still use, like, even today though, I still use some of them. I find value in some of these lagging indicators for sure. But I think profitability wise, nothing's ever shown me the results like support and resistance. Just very simple support and resistance. That seems to win every time. So
okay. So if you were to recommend any indicator at all, it would be just a pivot, support and resistance.
Completely. And you know who's a really good I'll promote somebody really quick because he helped me a lot. There's a YouTube personality named Nick Sean, and he's really focused on support and resistance. He only drops videos about he gives the same instructions and the same strategy on every single video, but they're worth watching because they're just so painfully simple, and it's not these like insanely complicated smart money concepts and Elliott wave and all this stuff. It's just like really straightforward and consistent
support and resistance.
Completely.
Great strategies, great risk management, great psychology advice. What got you into trading to start with? What brought you into this industry?
You might laugh. Bitcoin brought me here.
Oh, really? The crypto world brought you.
I didn't know. I didn't know the first thing about trading or investing until 2017, when all my friends were saying, hey, Bitcoin's at $5,000, buy it right now, like the blockchain, you know, all this. So I was like, what's that? And I started looking into it, and then it started piquing my interest more. And by the middle of 2000s, it was like, and towards the end of the summer of 2017, I took, I put a good amount of my money into Bitcoin, and I traded it up basically up until it hit 19,000. I was well in profit, and then it crashed, and I ended up walking away from the whole thing with about 1,000 in profit, compared to like, it was like 7,000-8,000 that I was in profit before.
Well, at least you came out. At least you came out in profit.
But psychologically, that's not where I was at the time. I was really mad about it, and I was really upset because I had this dream that I was just going to be like a millionaire off of.
I think we all had that dream back in those days. I think we all thought it was going to whatever, 1 million or whatever. I think we all got caught up in that one. But it brought you into the trading world. I think. Basically, it was either crypto or COVID that brought most people into the trading world.
COVID I feel like is what like rallied everybody else that was on the fence. COVID just tipped everyone over. I came out of that with a small profit, but like, you know, upset, but also really intrigued, because I thought to myself, wow, like, you know, from an objective standpoint, how easy is it? You just have to click a mouse at the right time and you're going to make money. So I was super interested, and that's when I started getting on to different YouTube channels and starting to want to learn more about traditional markets. And then that brought me to options, and I was trading options on SPY and, you know, reckless, like just like expiring the same week, you know, like going, that's going for home run. I mean, I was filling up my account to like, I had $2,000 accounts and just, not blowing them up, but like really not making money, like losing today and making a little tomorrow, losing the next day. And then
if you learned something from that process, then I think, you know, you take that away from it, and it's got you to where you are today. So it's maybe just part of the trading journey. Unfortunately, we all have to go through that rough patch. Okay. So any suggestions to other any recommendations to traders? Any out there who are struggling?
Just stay persistent, because, you know, the prop firm space that we're in right now is a real blessing, and the opportunities just seem to get better, and they seem to get more easier to obtain as the space evolves and grows. And I would say to just stay at it, because eventually you are going to get funded, and eventually you are going to get that payout, and it's going to be sweet. That is waiting for you at the end of the tunnel. You just have to stay at it. I think that's a big way, like, especially psychology wise, to look at it as if it is going to happen, because it will. And if you keep looking at it like this big impossible mountain to climb, maybe you won't get there. But if you just change the way you look at it, I think it would alter greatly the results that you'd see in your life.
Positive mindset. Yeah, like you say, it's a great time to be getting funded.
It's real. I didn't used to believe in it, but it's real. That mindset stuff is real.
Okay, cool. That's great advice. Any suggestions for FundedNext themselves? Any improvements they could make? I mean, I know what they're offering is pretty good at the moment, probably industry leading. Anything that they could maybe improve on?
I mean, it's, you know, I was worried in the beginning because there was a bit of a rocky start in the very beginning. And now since then, they have just soared above and beyond. Like, I really do believe they're one of the best firms in the space. And they seem to be very concentrated on making good improvements constantly. And it's really good to see. And I guess if I were to say anything, I don't really have anything to critique, but if I were to say anything, I think transparency is the best, as far as like, just statistics. How much have you paid out last week? Who are your top earning trader? Like that sort of thing. I think statistics like that we as traders crave, because it's oh, that guy made 100,000, like, that could be me. So, like, I think that kind of stuff is really
more
motivating.
Transparency. Okay, sure. Okay.
Just with how much they're paying out traders, how much they're paying out in general, maybe how many traders have signed up with them. We as traders want to know how the space is functioning, so that we know that there's life in it, so exactly. That's really my only thing. But
what do you think of the news lately that they're going to look to integrate with TradingView? I think that's something that you'll be using.
I saw that little screenshot where did they announce it? I thought it was like a surprise.
No, it's not. It's in the works. There's no release date. There's nothing else to just literally. It will happen. It's just a matter of I think possible technology and also legislation, that kind of thing. But it's coming. And
I think it's super cool.
Yeah.
I've never placed a trade on TradingView before. I've never used it to actually trade, so I wouldn't know like how much better the interface is comparably. I'm sure it is better, but I mean, that's any kind of next steps are all positive and good. So I'm excited either way.
Cool. Okay, Austin. I think we're done. So thank you for your time. And
thank you. I appreciate it.
Good luck with getting paid out again with FundedNext. Sure, it won't be long with the strategy.
This Saturday. Let's get it.
Okay. That's the end of your cycle.
And then we'll do it again. We'll do it again in 2 more Saturdays.
Keep doing it again. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll let you go. Enjoy the time with the family this weekend, and take some time off the screens. And good luck. Okay.
Goodbye. I appreciate it, Simon. Thank you so much.
Cheers. Bye.